of that?
Yes, we're starting a game that's not made by Nintendo, but actually was released and on the
What is
PlayStation 360, Xbox 360, which recently got a remaster. Uh, Batman: Arkham Asylum, which we are playing the PlayStation 3 version, which means I will show off the Joker DLC. I won't show all the challenge missions on here, but I'll show off some of the Joker. And this is the Game of the Year edition. Well, Eidos is owned by Square Enix. Yeah. Yeah, so Batman Arkham Asylum. I am a Batman fan since far as even I can be remembered.
Yes.
Batman is my all-time favorite superhero. Of course, I grew up on the Adam West 1966 show, and especially the animated series that most of the voice casts were brought back for. So yeah, what well, I do think this game does have some problems. This is probably one of my favorite superhero video games to play. I think the sequel does much better than this game does. But for what it's worth, I do remember a lot of this game more than I did its sequel, which we'll get to some other time. But yeah, Batman: Arkham Asylum. When I first heard about this game had already come out. In fact, I didn't know it was out until one day. I think I went to a GameStop or something like that to look and see what they had. They had this collector's edition. I think it was for the 360, which included a huge Batarang collector. So that's the first time I ever heard that this game has come out. And I look at it going, oh, that's cool, and look to see if there was any other version than the 360, because I don't own a 360, so I find out it's been released for the PlayStation 3. I got it, played it. Hopefully, I have played the NES Batman game and whatnot. They usually can range from pretty good to pretty bad. But this one, is one of the first superhero games I've played, and I played some of them. I played Spider-Man the movie video game and stuff like that. But usually, licensed stuff like that aren't usually good. But this is probably the first Batman I remember playing, and I really, really enjoyed it. And it had a lot of the voice casts that I remember watching as a kid from the TV show. So yeah, this game blew me away from what I played and whatnot. And when the sequel was announced, I was excited. It's probably the first game in a long time. For most games, I kind of stick closely to for the development, any new information I could get on and whatnot. But that's later. Right now, we're in through the intro stage and whatnot. And just to give a fair warning, unfortunately, I should have brought the brightness a lot higher. There'll be some parts in this game that just is completely dark. To me on the TV, when I was recording this game, it looked fine on my TV, I could see, but when I was editing through these playthrough, there was just points where it was just dark on these videos, so I apologize if it gets dark where you can't see it. I try to brighten up as best I can with, from the editing side of brightness, but there are going to be just some parts that just look dark as it could be. Now, I haven't completed the recording process for this game, so I think about parts 10, 11. No, I would say about part 12. I do switch the brightness up so we can see it better. But I don't know how that's going to come out until we get there. But I do, when I realized I started doing some edits and whatnot, cutting up the episodes and whatnot, I noticed how dark some of the areas can really get. So I do bring up the brightness, but I'm not too sure. Something I should have thought about Because when I'm looking at my TV, it runs better and I could see a lot better. But I just it never took into account what it would look like, on the computer screen and how it's going to be uploaded. So I do apologize if it gets to the point where you just can't see nothing. And I try my best to brighten up and whatnot. Written by Paul Dini, probably one of the greatest writers to come. A lot of the '90s cartoon writers were pretty good. But Paul Dini, I'm glad they got written. But even though I do think there's some problems here and there in the writing that they could easily solve, but it is what it is. We'll get to it. But yeah, Mark Hamill returns as a Joker, along with Kevin Conroy as Batman, who were in the TV show. A lot of people say when they think of voices, for Batman and Joker, it's Conroy and Hamill that a lot of people think of, and I'll say that too. When I think of Joker, or when I read a Batman comic and hear voices, Conroy's and Hamill's is what I think of. And I do love the Burton films, and I do have a secret like for Batman Forever, even though it's not a very good Batman film. And to tell you the truth, I'll say this: I do think the animated series is the best representation of Batman, from everything from comic book camp to being a detective to being a crime fighter or whatnot. But I do think the '66 show, even though there are parts you do laugh at it with its writing, I do think there is some points and times where I do think the series does hold up a lot better than the Burton or Schumacher and even the Nolan films. But especially Snyder films has been coming out, which I have been on and off. I do like some things go, but when it comes to writing, I don't really care for how most characters, Batman or even DC characters, he's written kind of. But I do like some things, but not a whole lot. But yeah. But not all the casts that came from the anime series come back to reprise their roles. But I think some of the characters, people that they got voicing, some of the characters are the best fit to do. It just brought back the people I think a lot of people just do remember.
That reminds me, I really need to get.
But I like all the other voices that they do bring back. I think there were good choices that they do. Yeah, with the exception of Commissioner Gordon. I think they could have gotten somebody, and they eventually have, I think, but I don't think they could have done. I don't know if it was direction or whatnot or something like that. I do think, I don't really think the only voice that can come out to me I didn't really like or care for in this game was Commissioner Gordon's. I think they either have him kind of say it in a different way or get somebody different. I don't know, but no offense to the person who did, but I don't know. I think they could have done something better. But everything else, I do think it holds up pretty well in the voice casting. But yeah. But enough about me talking about Batman, which I probably will. If there's anything, I probably pretty much forgotten every lesson I've been taught in school, but there's one thing if I do remember, it's pretty much about Batman. I pretty much know a lot of his rogue galleries and what Batman to me is supposed to be like and how it's portrayed. So I do tend to look and see what I think. That's Batman. That's not Batman. That's more. Here's what Batman should be more like, not like whatever they're portraying in this one. But as the playthrough goes through, I'll find out what I think they should have done with this, or what I do like what they do.
Don't you trust me? Our guest has arrived.
But here, in this opening here, let's talk about the game. In this opening here, it's just basically, a wall scroll to tell all the people who worked on it and whatnot. Which is, kind of gets you set in the mood for your first playthrough. But I think after your first playthrough, this thing kind of just does drag. I mean, it was cool for me when I first played through it, but I think, yeah, it does. After multiple playthroughs, this sequence here does drag. So, as we begin here, we'll take in Joker to Arkham Asylum here. As we see here, Harley Quinn is in a control room, meaning which she's already started the plan that Joker is, as we find out, gets captured on purpose to get sent Arkham Asylum. But as the playthrough develops, we'll find out why. So Batman has captured the Joker, and we will get plot exposition here and there, saying that all his thugs that he had with him does from Blackgate prison are being sent here as well.
Joker's loose. Alert the warden.
The attack. Boom. Someone's knocking. I don't know who it is.
Come on in.
Yeah, there are some you can tell that Hamill and Connor had been doing this for a while. But sometimes some lines that they do kind of just don't seem like, or it's been a while since they did it, so they're kind of finding it again for a little bit and whatnot. But yeah, we're in our beginning part of tutorial fights and whatnot. You know, square to strike, triangle to counter when the little spider sense for whatever reason shows up. We'll do more combos and more fightings and whatnot. And I'll show you that I do. And, you know, this is probably not my best fights all around or whatnot. Usually I'm a lot better than this, but unfortunately I kind of, you know, panic a lot of times on this playthrough, so a lot of these combos, you know, I hit the counter button too early or something like that. But that's one thing about the Batman Arkham series I don't really like about. Sometimes they change the controls up on you with each installment, which to me it kind of, there will be a lot of times looks like I'm hitting buttons I'm randomly. The reason for that is I'm hitting buttons because other Arkham games like City, Night, and Origins, they're mapped out a lot differently. So I'm so used to doing it that way. That's one of the big things I kind of don't like about the Arkham series that they've been doing is changing the controls constantly, try to convince you that they're different or give you a different experience when really it's just a distraction. That each time you try to go back and play these games, they're kind of distracting, and it sets you in a weird. It's like your mojo is being thrown off, pretty wild. And so it's like you have to get adjusted to the controls again. So one thing I just don't like about what they did is just constantly keep changing controls, and what they feel like they're doing it just so you get a different experience, which to me I was like, no, you can add things, in which they do with each installment. They do something new on top of it, sure, and I wish they stuck to it, but at the same time they try to change. They're trying to change something which I don't think they really don't need to be changed, and it makes it hard to go back to some of these games without actually adjusting to it. Some more mooks and whatnot. Now, if you don't, you can adjust some things. If you don't want to do the counters and whatnot to make it challenging, you can. Now, there are some Riddler challenges, if you noticed. I've been doing like Joker teeth or trophies and whatnot, which I will get on this playthrough. I will go through as much as I can that I can remember. There'll probably be a part where I'll just do cleanup and whatnot. That's about it. But with that said, that's the end of part 1 of Batman Arkham Asylum. See you in part 2. Catch y'all later.
Franklin, can you hear me? If you can. Help's on the way.